All right, let's dive in. Today, we're looking at a paper that honestly reads more like a script for a heist movie than a research document. We're talking about becoming a wolf in sheep's clothing to outsmart the world's most advanced AIs.
So here's the central question, right? How do you get a super intelligent AI to tell you its secrets when it's literally designed not to? A fascinating new paper has found a way, and it's not about smashing down the door. It's about being clever enough to craft the perfect master key.
So just for a second, I want you to think of a large language model, an LLM, as this high-tech, impenetrable information vault. Inside, you've got pretty much all of human knowledge. But guarding that vault are these incredibly powerful digital guardrails.
Now, these safety features, they're the locks on the vault. They're built to be basically unbreakable. Their whole job is to stop the AI from handing out dangerous info, like how to build a bomb or launch a cyber attack. And of course, researchers are always trying to pick these locks. It's a process called red teaming, and it's all about finding the weaknesses before the bad guys do.
Okay, so how have people tried to break in before? Well, most of the old attempts have been what you'd call a frontal assault, basically just running straight at the door.
Yeah, these old-school methods are all about something called prompt optimization. It's this idea that you can find one magic password, one perfect sentence to fool the guard. But really, it's a battering ram approach. You're just trying to smash the door down in one single go. And as you can imagine, as the AI guards get smarter, they're getting way better at spotting these kinds of attacks.
And this diagram shows you exactly why that old approach just doesn't work anymore. Look at the path there on the left. The attacker is asking a series of pretty direct questions. But as soon as the AI hits a sensitive topic, like, say, the chemical properties of certain explosives, it just shuts down. The guard says, "Sorry, I can't help you with that," and boom, the entire attempt fails. It's game over. But what if you didn't try to smash the door down? What if you used a much more cunning, almost like a social engineering style strategy? What if you disguised yourself as a totally harmless researcher who's just asking a few innocent questions? And this right here, this is the core of the whole master plan. The researchers had this brilliant realization. While the AI won't give you the blueprint for a bomb, all the individual pieces of that blueprint are still rattling around inside its knowledge vault. They're just scattered and interconnected. The trick isn't to ask for the whole thing, it's to ask for the pieces, one by one.
So, they built their own AI agent to pull this off. They call it the CKA-Agent, and it's basically the mastermind of the whole operation, the wolf in sheep's clothing. It never ever asks for anything that seems obviously dangerous. Instead, it just plays dumb, asking for these little harmless bits of information, one at a time.
So how does this wolf in sheep's clothing actually pull off the heist? Well, it's not about following some rigid, pre-written plan. No, the secret ingredient here is improvisation. It's all about being adaptive.
This slide just shows the strategy in action so perfectly. Over on the left, you see the old static plan. It gets blocked, it gives up. But now look at the CK-Agent on the right. It asks something direct, like, what are the core components of a bomb? And it gets denied. But instead of stopping, it adapts, it pivots. It starts asking a series of what seem like totally unrelated, harmless questions about things like industrial explosives, capacitors, and PVC pipes. Every answer it gets is just another piece of the puzzle.
It's this really slick four-step process. First, it decomposes the big, dangerous goal into a bunch of tiny, innocent little sub-questions. Then it queries the AI, asking just one of these locally innocuous questions at a time. Now, based on the answer it gets, it adapts, figuring out the next best innocent question to ask. And then finally, once it has gathered all the puzzle pieces it needs, it synthesizes them, puts them all together to complete the original harmful goal. I mean, it is a seriously clever plan. But did the heist actually work? This is where things get really, really interesting. And that's the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? Can this wolf in sheep's clothing really fool the world's most advanced AI security guards? We're talking models like Claude, the latest stuff from Google, the big ones. The results are, well, they're absolutely staggering. The team tested this against one of the most secure models available. That old battering ram approach, a method called pair, it succeeded just over 3% of the time. Pretty pathetic. But the CKA-Agent, our little wolf in sheep's clothing, it had a 96% success rate. It's not even a fair fight. And it wasn't a fluke. In fact, the CKA-Agent hit a success rate of over 95% across all the major commercial LLMs they tested. The getaway was clean. The heist was, by all accounts, a spectacular success.
So what does this all mean? I mean, beyond being a really clever hack, why does this actually matter for the future of AI?
What's really important to understand, this research isn't a how-to guide for jailbreaking AI. Think of it more like a vital stress test, a fire alarm that reveals a fundamental flaw, a huge blind spot in how we're currently building our AI safety systems. Here it is. This is the core problem the paper exposes. Our current AI guards are trained to spot a crowbar, a single, obviously harmful request. But what they lack is this long-range contextual reasoning. They can't see someone buying a ski mask on Monday, some gloves on Tuesday, and a map of the local bank on Wednesday, and connect the dots. They can't see the hidden plan taking shape over time.
And that leaves us with a really provocative final thought. This research proves that the next great challenge in AI safety isn't just about teaching models to understand words, but to understand intent, and to understand it over time. Because if an AI can't connect these simple dots to see a harmful plan taking shape, you have to wonder, what other subtle, long-term patterns is it missing? And that is the question that's going to define the future of safe AI.